What is up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Two Game Podcast. I am Matt Primo, joined by Christian Valencia,
Hey, everybody.
and we are back with episode 126. Last week, we did a mini deep dive series into Final Fantasy 16. Had a shit ton of fun doing that. Honestly, I can talk about that game all fucking day. The more I actually talked about it, and when I actually got off the podcast, we all gave it nines. Spoiler alert. Um, I cannot stop thinking about that game. Like the further I get away from it, it's not the less I think about it. I still think about that game on a regular basis.
Understandable.
Such a fucking good game, and love the little deep dive series that we did. And I was talking to Chris like later that day, maybe the next day. I don't know. It doesn't fucking matter. I was talking to him about because we're doing the BioShock deep dive series right now, where we're going through it. It hasn't been released yet. And then we're doing the Batman trilogy, which I don't know if we'll do the whole trilogy or not. Those are three big ass fucking games, back to back to back. Maybe eventually, but Arkham Asylum definitely doing that right off the bat. But I was thinking of doing Final Fantasy 16 eventually as a deep dive series, and that would be so fucking good. I'm not saying it's gonna be our Magnus Opus, but I'm just saying. By the way, if you have not listened to our deep dive into Final Fantasy X, that, guys, is our Magnus Opus. All right. That is the best thing that we have put out, period. All right. A lot of work, a lot of blood, a lot of sweat, a lot of tears, mostly tears, went into making that.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
Did you see that TikTok video that I posted about Titus?
Oh, yeah.
I love it. I fucking love it. Yes. Titus is so excited to be inside you know.
Yes.
But anyways, guys, episode 126. This week we have a stacked fucking episode, okay? We have gone weeks without doing a playlist for many different reasons. But we're gonna jump into our playlist, which is a lot. So we're probably spending a whole lot of time there, more than anything. But Christian has been playing or beaten one of the two, Remnant 2. That is a game that we had talked about several weeks ago, and we had both watched the trailer or some shit like that, and we both said, "Dude, this looks pretty fucking fun." Christian has played it. I'm still on the back burner for me. I played Wolong Fallen Dynasty. It is a game that has, well, let's just say this. I forgot that I pre-ordered it, and it came in the mail right before I went to Disney. I was like, well, fuck, I didn't want to play this game anymore. So I had it, and I forgot about it, and I ended up playing a little bit of it to talk about this week. And then we also going to be talking about PlayStation going up on their prices of PlayStation Plus of their subscriptions. So definitely gonna want to listen in on that because it's not like a $5 increase that we're talking about here, guys. We're talking significant increases. So you'll get all of our opinions, thoughts on that shit at the back end of the episode. But let's just go ahead and jump into it. Sir, it's been a while, man.
Indeed, it has.
When was it? Have we been solo in a while?
We did shit, what the hell did we do? It was right before we did the Final Fantasy 16.
I want to say we didn't do an episode that week. So it was a week before that.
No, we did. It was a week before that, yeah.
So really, it's like we haven't done it 2-on-2 in a minute, or 1-on-1 in this case, in a minute, sir.
Why are you trying to add people? Is that the Mississippi Mass?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That sounds about right. But what have you been watching as of late?
Oh, watching season 2 of Jobless Reincarnation, which is fantastic because season 1 was amazing, and they just improved everything that we fucked up on in the first one and made it better. Rewatching Reincarnated as Slime. Oh, there's a laundry list of fucking goddamn animes I've watched. Rewatched Eminence and Shadow because that's such a magnifique fucking anime. Um, I've watched Batman, the newer one with sparkly, vampire. You know,
Such a good movie. Such a good movie.
yeah, it's so good. It's so good. I'm still
And
saying.
the thing is, that movie could be a goat movie. I mean, it's still a really fucking good movie. I mean, like I gave it 5 stars, but
Right.
it could be better than a Dark Knight if they would just done one thing differently, and that is make it actually fucking suspenseful.
Yeah, I can see that. There was no like. They were slow, fast, fast, fast. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Come back. We're going slow again. I want
Honest,
continuously ass raping.
they
Yeah, I'm just saying.
they should never have mentioned who the villain was in that movie.
I agree with that. I definitely agree with that.
I mean, if you can't sell a Batman movie on just Batman alone, I mean, you're kind of doing something wrong, right?
Right? Like, we're here to see Batman, but we're also kind of here to see who he's facing because he has like a million zillion fucking enemies, you know?
Who would you
So,
want as the villain in Batman 2?
who would I want?
I got
I
two names. I got two names. One
I
of them is
want
not the Joker. Now, granted, I will stand by this and I will die on this hill that you have to have Joker in it at some capacity.
Oh,
Have
I
to.
agree 100% with that. But I would like Killer Croc uh and probably Deadshot.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Or Deathstroke.
Yeah, that too. Like Deathstroke slash like fucking Deadshot combo.
Mm-hmm.
Two mercenaries going after him for a contract. That would be hot.
You know, as as much maligned as the game was, Arkham Origins would be a good choice for a
Right.
Batman movie. Like you said, contract. Just I want Batman's head.
Yep.
And you have Deadshot, Deathstroke. I mean, who else can you throw in there? Obviously, Black Mask would be in there
Right.
because I feel like he'd be the only one that could actually buy off everybody.
Yeah. Then you probably have Bane. Bane would probably be somewhere in there too.
And they've already kind of introduced the Venom.
Yep, they sure did. That's Venom.
So
I
he,
don't care what the
so
fuck you say.
right.
A drill in my ass.
Give
As
me a drill
somebody who
your
gives epi on a regular, not regular basis, in person, it never looks like
right. That got left out in the sun a little too long.
that. A long, sir, that was in the basement. It grew shit.
So Killer Croc or two others. If we're not going the route of the contract killing and whatnot. Clayface, I would be very interested in. I don't know how they would do it.
Right?
I'd be very
I don't
interested
know
in.
how they would do that either, but that would be pretty cool.
But he'd be my third choice. Second choice would be Killer Croc. First choice would be Mr. Freeze.
Ooh, yeah. Like actually do a decent Mr. Freeze, not a jokey, laughy Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, yeah. Agreed.
Dad joke central. Dad joke central.
Nice to meet you.
God.
But yeah, one of those three, I'd be honestly. Who am I fucking kidding? I like
I'm
all the
all
Batman
for
villains.
doing. So I used to play DCUO, DCU Universe Online. So they did a little season where they had Mr. Freeze, Poison Ivy, Clayface, Killer Croc, and Scarecrow all teamed up against Batman. And it was the way they wrote that story was fantastic because they
Mm-hmm.
all had their own little layers inside uh Arkham. So you had to go find each one of them and they all kind of escaped later, but then you fought all of them in one sitting. Granted, you had Batman on your team, but you also had 7 other people, that had, powers, but it was just well written.
So one thing about the second Batman is, and I don't know if I would consider it them, I don't know, backing themselves into a corner whatsoever. But that is No Man's Land, and I mean, they've already kind of started it with the ending to the Batman. I think that would be a great uh thing to, what's the word I'm looking for? Help me out here. What's the fucking word? I can't think of the word.
There you
Adaptation.
go.
I think that'd be a great adaptation. Instead of the earthquake, it's a fucking flood, and then they can throw in, maybe it's in winter, so that's how they bring in Mr. Freeze. But then you got all the other fucking villains that show up in the events of No Man's Land. So I think that's the most likely route that they'll go,
Right.
is adapting some version of No Man's Land. But who knows? They change shit every day. I mean, fucking DC fucking changes shit every day.
Shit, you ain't lying, man. I'm surprised they even came out with the damn fucking Flash movie.
Have you seen it?
No.
I have.
I kind of refuse to go support him.
The movie's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Now, granted, I had very, 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 very low expectations.
That's fair. I can't argue that.
And they hit on some of the humor, but I don't know, man. I gotta watch it again. But I'm kind of in the same boat as you. I don't know if I don't really like him as the Flash.
Never have. Not when they introduced him in Justice League. I was like, no.
How
Like
he fucking runs.
he runs.
Why
so
does he
weird.
fucking run like that?
Like there's no comics or anime cartoon adaptation that he runs like that. So whoever let him run like that needs to be slapped in the face.
Fucking Zack Snyder, man.
Slap in the face.
Gave us Man of Steel, then he also gave us the fucking stupid ass Flash move, whatever he's fucking doing.
You know, like he's throwing cards at people.
Yeah, right.
Fucking Gambit.
He's Gambit. Gambit.
Fucking Jesus.
What else you been watching, sir?
That's kind of it. Really, I've been doing a lot of things at home, so I haven't had really time to do that. And then all three kids are in sports, so they go all the same day. So it's
of course.
They don't stop playing until like 8-9 o'clock. So by the time I have to go to bed, so I get to watch what I watch, and usually it's at work, and you know how that works out.
Indeed, I do. So I've been in kind of a little horror mood here lately. Actually, I'm kind of preparing myself. We're a month out from Horror in Review Part 4. I'm going to be reviewing nothing but haunting and possession movies, which are my favorite subgenres in horror, period. I'm trying to remember off the cuff the movies that we're reviewing. Shit. I'd have to bring up Discord, and I don't feel like having all that messed up. Anyways, what over the next couple of weeks, go to our Facebook, social media, which you can find all those links down below. Whether you're listening to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, the audio only version, whatever, links down below. Same thing for the YouTube versions. Links down below for our social media, our Patreon, which is patreon.com/2game, and then our merch store as well. Multiple ways to support us. We would greatly appreciate that. If you support us via Patreon, you get additional content. You get the Wall of Death podcast, which I review albums every single week. You get Rants and Raves, which is cathartic bitch sessions, or sometimes we're talking about like top 10s, top 5s of just random bullshit. So patreon.com/2game. I know September 1st, which is 2 days away, we're going to start doing giveaways. So be on the lookout for our social media accounts for that. And yeah. Deep dive series into BioShock. I'll talk about it in a second, just recently finished BioShock, the first game. I dove into BioShock 2 today. We're going to do the entire trilogy. I did mention that I'm going to do a Let's Play series for BioShock. I cut that. That was nope. I wasn't fucking enjoying it, and the Let's Play series was making it worse. And I had 2 or 3 episodes of rage quits, and I was fucking done. So no Let's Play series go along with it. We'll do that some other day. But horror mood. Been watching Exorcism of God, which is a fucking terrible movie. You should not watch it.
This is terrible. It's terrible.
So let me explain this this premise to you, sir. Okay.
All right.
Old priest goes to exorcise the demon from a woman, right? Okay. All is fine. And old demon's like, fuck me, you know you want to.
Whoa.
And he's like, huh, that's wrong. Like that kind of shit, right?
Right.
And I'm like, okay, yeah, a demon would try to seduce you, you know,
Right.
and whatnot. And then she's just like showing her tits to him. I'm like, okay, all right, we're still in the okay zone over here, okay?
Right.
And then somehow he gets on top of her, and the demon possesses the priest.
Oh.
And then he rapes said girl.
Oh. Wow.
And then years later, like 18 years later, the offspring of said raping is now possessed by the same demon. And old girl is back, you know, the one that got raped originally. She's all like, you put that baby inside me, you're gonna fucking exorcise that demon. And I'm just like, what the fuck is going on here?
I need an adult.
Right? I was like, this is too much.
This is way too much.
So Exorcism of God, do not recommend. 0 out of 10, do not recommend. I did watch The Flash, which I think it's worth watching just to see how you feel about it. But my God, guys, it's a fucking ugly ass movie. Okay, if you were rating the look of the movie, 0 out of 10, 0 out of 10. It is a fucking horrendously looking movie. But it is entertaining. It does have some good moments. It's just, I don't know. It was too early for Flashpoint. That's going to be the biggest issue for that movie. Deep Blue Sea, watch that. Still a good movie, highly entertaining. I was talking to Christian in the pre-show segment that you can get by going to patreon.com/2game. We talked about The Shallows a little bit.
Indeed.
Good movie, solid fucking movie. I forget where I watched it. I think I watched it on Tubi TV or some shit like that. So y'all can go check it out there. The Prestige, watch that. Fucking fantastic movie. That's the one with Christian Bale and Hugh Jackman. Phone Booth, I watched that today. And then Transformers Rise of the Beast. Have you seen that, sir?
I have not. I was waiting for that one to come out. I heard it was good.
I have it on my Vudu. So let me tell you, pleasantly surprised by that movie. Like that so far, if you were to say what is your surprise of the year, Transformers Rise of the Beast, fucking book it.
That's what I heard. They actually did a really good job on this one, and I was like, oh wow, because they entered the suck real quick after like 3.
Yes.
So after that I was like, and then, you know, I love me some. I grew up with the fucking, you know, primals. Fucking Transformer, fucking Beast Wars. Oh, such a great anime. It was so good.
So I watched it with my sons, and dude, it was legitimately one of the better movie experiences that I've had, because it was like every 5 seconds we were like, oh, did you see that? it was just so many awesome moments. And then towards the end of the movie, I don't want to spoil anything, but there was a fucking awesome moment that happens at the end of the movie that the boys were like, are you fucking serious? Like, they didn't say fucking serious, but they're like, are you kidding me? I was like, bro,
are you serious?
No.
Yeah, that was cool, but I have to hit you in the face now.
Right. So really, really great movie experience. I would actually recommend. That was actually going to be one of my weekly recommendations this week, but I decided to go a different route. I would recommend that to people. You can check it out on my Vudu, sir. I bought it.
Well, I'll definitely have to check that out.
What about listening?
Oh, listening. So I was trying to pull up my Spotify. I done forgot the password on it because I had found a playlist that someone recommended to me for work when I go work out, and it's got probably 200 songs on that thing. When I tell you the range between heavy metal to like my metal that I listen to, and that says not doesn't say a lot but Matt knows my typical metal. Like Breaking Benjamin's like a little heavier in Breaking Benjamin, so like I Prevail maybe a little heavier than that. It's kind of my kind of metal. Um, and then some rap in there, like old school rap, OG, like not like this newer
The
crap.
good one, the good kind.
Yeah, the good stuff. Um, I will put it in the Discord or a link to it. It's just more stuff to hype you up, I guess is what it is. Um, I couldn't even tell you the names on there. 200 songs on there. Um, I know they have a Day to Remember in there. They have Breaking Benjamin in there. Um, old school Nelly, old school fucking, you know,
It's getting hot in here.
yeah, fucking all that kind of shit. Usher, just all that old school 2000, not older 90s fucking music that, it was just perfect. Like I listened to it, and I just let it go. I mean, I put on random, so I don't have a consecutive because I'd never get through those songs in one sitting. But yeah, it's disgusting.
Well, I got some bands you can add to that list.
Oh,
Uh,
sweet.
so if you're a fan of Gojira or Mastodon, the band Earn just came out with a new album a few weeks ago. It's called the Feast of Sorrows. Really fucking good album. That's gonna be in the top 10 when it's all said and done for the year. Then we have the Word Alive just came out with a new album. I think you would like the Word Alive. They're kind of in the same boat as probably a little bit heavier, but they're in the same boat as like I Prevail and shit like that. That was like one of my gateway bands into metalcore. Holding Absence, which was a pleasant listening experience, very cathartic. If you like sad boy tunes, Holding Absence is where you want to fucking go. Like that shit is fucking depressing, but also uplifting at the same time. And then Movements, they came out a new album as well. But Ruckus, really fucking solid shit. Sleep Token just reviewed that for the Wall of Death podcast. Currents, which is an everyday event for me. And then Asking Alexandria. Have you ever listened to them?
Yep.
Uh it I wish I could tell you which album to stop at because that would infer that they have good albums. Because they don't. And this album is fucking trash. Like it's fucking trash, guys.
They
I
have
went
certain solo songs that are good, and everything else is trash.
all right. Anything I will give you anything off their first two albums. Anything past that, there's only one song. Oh, I did that back. There's two songs post those first two albums. One
Right.
is Move On. I forget. I think that's on Death and Destiny. I think if I'm not mistaken. Move On is that might be their best song. The second one is Into the Fire, which came out. I forget what album that is. That song is that's like top five fucking Alexandria songs. But anything other than that, it's trash. Okay, just throw it in the garbage. It's atrocious. This has like rap and R&B vibes in it, and I'm just like, what the fuck is this, man? Like, what the fuck are y'all even doing?
Are y'all trying anymore? Like, is that a thing?
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think they are trying. They're just fucking phoning it in. And what really sucks is because that vocalist is a really fucking good vocalist, but he's such a fucking
waste.
cocksucker. Okay,
Such a
I
waste.
fucking said it. I said it. He's a cocksucker. Okay. All right, sir. We've been playing several games. Okay.
Right.
I know Remnant 2 has been on your list. I'm gonna run
Yep.
through BioShock for just a second.
Right.
Because I don't want to talk too much about it.
Right.
I did beat BioShock. I put like 13 hours into it, I think.
That's not that
Uh,
long shout out.
oh, it makes me so sad. It's nice to play a game that I'm not spending 70 hours in.
Yeah, that's fair. I can't argue that.
It's very fucking refreshing. I have to say, as someone that I mean, you gotta think. This year I finished Horizon Forbidden West,
Right.
Final Fantasy 16. I mean, what
Yep.
other fucking games? There was another one in there. I'm still playing fucking Tears of the Kingdom. It's just so many fucking 70-hour games, and I'm like, guys, like
Can I just
respect my
get one
fuck.
I could beat off real quick? I mean, beat real quick.
Thank you. I
One
want a
hitter quitter real
quickie.
quick.
Yeah,
A
I
little
just want a
quickie.
quickie. And Bioshock, it's a quickie, man. Like the 10 to 15 hours, really solid playthrough. It's my first time playing Bioshock. I went through spurts. At the very beginning, I was like, "Ooh, this is kind of fun," and then I think the Let's Play series had a part to do in it. But I just found myself really fucking not liking it,
Yeah, I agree with that.
and I quit the Let's Play series and I just powered through the rest of the game, and I really fucking loved it. Really fucking loved it. I started a new game plus in Bioshock, the first one, before I jumped into Bioshock 2, just to see how survivor mode was. They're not fucking playing around with survivor mode, let me fucking tell you.
That's fair. That's fair.
Not fucking playing around. But yeah, we're doing the deep dive series on Bioshock. We're going to be hopefully recording that next week. So we're gonna record the episodes for all the games, and then we're gonna release them weekly. So y'all keep an eye out on that. So Bioshock 2, Final Fantasy 16, we finished up, and then I'll let you have the floor, sir. What about Remnant 2 would you like to tell the fine folks out there?
Shit. Hold on before I do that. I played some One Piece Odyssey. That was my quickie. Um, Anime based game. Kind of added a story to the story that's already, a million episodes long. Uh, then I played some FIFA 2022, which is really odd for me because, I don't play sports games very often. And then obviously Final Fantasy 16 and Remnant 2, which I will pick up from. Remnant 2, I didn't think I'd like, to be honest with you, because I hate all those fucking Souls games. I fucking hate Souls games. Um, it is definitely a Souls-like game. You die quite often. Um, and when I say quite often, I mean a lot. Uh, shit. There's 4 different worlds that you get to travel, and it is completely random every time.
Ooh.
You never start in the same world twice. I mean, if you do by luck. So you have Warden 13, which is the main area. You have Lonesome, which is urban area where you fight humans and human-like people and rats, huge fucking rats. And I
They
say
always gotta
huge
have rats
rats like
in a Souls game. Always.
no, like human-sized rats.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I stand by my
I
statement.
say my message. That's fair. Then you have the labyrinth, which is actually pretty cool to go to. That is one of the maps you will always go to, no matter what. You'll go to all these maps, but the labyrinth is always the second world you'll go to because it follows the story of whatever you need to do. You have Yaisha, which is a forest area. You have these weird ass fucking snakes slash wood people that you have to fight. Um, Root Earth, which is the last world you'll go to, and Innerd, which is kind of like moon based. It looks like the moon, it's barren like the moon, but there's like an environment that has an inhabitable area. So if you go past the map, you are going to die quite quickly because you get poisoned and you die. Don't ask me how many times that happened.
I bet quite a few.
Yeah, because unfortunately, you get anywhere near it, you start coughing and vomiting, which automatically puts you in an action. And if you're fighting people, then obviously you get wrecked, which is whatever. So those are the worlds. So basically, this is a Souls game that you can shoot. You have guns, swords, and certain abilities depending on your class. Yeah, I said Souls with guns. I said that. Yeah, 100%.
That was the most interesting aspect to me. And then you can have swords on top of it. I was like,
yes.
All right.
So depending on the class you start off as, depends on what melee weapon you have. So you have in the beginning, you have medic, you have a challenger, you have handler, and you have gunslinger. Gunslinger, obviously, pretty much self-explanatory. You have the ability to increase your fire rate and your damage for a short period of time. Handler, you get a dog, and he can revive you if you go down. Challenger kinda is a tank, and then obviously medic is pretty much also self-explanatory. Each one of them has skills. You get 3 as you level up. Max level on each one of them is 10. You can get any one of these by doing certain things, like in typical Souls games. They're hidden secret ways to get shit, certain ways people to talk to. Like there's even gear that you have to belly flop in front of a certain NPC 100 times just to get. Yeah. Yeah, I said that 100 times. Guns.
Is there patches?
There's there what?
Is there a patches in this game?
Is there a patches? Negative. I didn't see one.
Ah.
That's why I said Soul-like, not Souls. Because all Souls have to have a patches. Anyway.
You're right. You're right.
So it is online. You can play up to 3 people squads. But the downside to the 3 people squads is whoever's world it is, that's pretty much you're doing all his shit for him. You'll get all the gear, but the progression does not count for you. So you're literally doing everything for nothing, kind of separate. Unless you have all the gear already, then you're doing literally nothing for nothing. You have shotguns, you have ARs, you have technically sniper rifles, but they're kind of like iron sighted. Then you have armor, which is just loads and loads of armor. Rings are probably the worst out of all of them because there's over like 300 different rings that you can get. And you can hold 4, I think, at a time. The items are pretty much useless. Huh?
What kind of rings are we talking about? Are we talking like increased damage or
yes, so some increased damage,
poison or some shit.
Yes, so each one of them does. Some of them do 2 things, some of them do 1. Some of them increase your lightning damage or your fire damage or your acid damage. Or they just increase your fire rate point blank. And you have amulets that also do the same. You can only wear 1 amulet at a time. Then you have your healing things, like in typical Souls games, you only have so many. And they take 100 years to heal you. Yeah, they do. Like you literally walk slow and it heals you. But each heart that you use has different effects. So there's like 20 different hearts. So some of them, when you use them, increase your damage for 10 seconds. Some of them make you resistant to things for 10 seconds or 5 seconds, whatever the fuck it is. You can level them up to hold more, but I think the max you can hold is like 8. The combat is actually pretty fun. You fight kind of waves of enemies. They'll be waiting in the worlds, but if you fight so many of them and alert so many of them, you'll have a distinct noise that brings out the elite.
Ooh.
Yeah, you'll hear like a big old a bell toll or something will happen loud enough for you to go, okay, I need to start looking for this dude because this dude comes out of nowhere and comes and fucks you up because he
Is it
does.
kind of
He
what the
fucking
is it kind of like the noise that the predator makes when he's about to wreck some people?
no. Like it's literally you'll hear a dong, like a dong. Shout out. Um,
Well,
it's very distinct. And they can literally sometimes the game will glitch, and if you try to back off when you're trying to fight, trying to get distance, it kind of sometimes resets. So you'll be fighting elite after elite after elite because they don't go down easy. You can level up your weapons. You level up your guns. So you have a primary and a secondary. Usually the secondaries are pistols, um, or pistol machine guns is the best way I can describe it. And your long guns, are your
shut up.
ARs, your shotguns, and all that. Um, you can also create your character. So literally, there's millions and millions and millions of ways to build characters. So you can, if once you level up or progress further into the story, you can get another perk and you can dual wield perks. So, like, say I have medic and handler, I can rock both of those and use each one skill for that. Or I can just run one, but you kind of handicapping yourself by doing one. Um, let's say hunter and gunslinger are probably your best DPS because each one of them kind of mesh together to increase your weapon damage for 30 seconds. And you can max out your weapons to level 20. You can max out you can max out everything to level 20. But you can also add certain add-ons to certain weapons. Like some weapons that you find are unique have their own unique abilities. But some of the other weapons, so like they have the typewriter, which is pretty much a Tommy gun that you can find. And it's bare. It's bare. So you can add, say you wanted to add acid bullets to it or fire bullets to it. And it literally you have acid bullets until your cooldown goes down. And and you kill to refresh it. It just doesn't automatically refresh. But you can also level that up to at Ward 13. Um, for story wise, it was actually quite entertaining to see how they introduced the world pretty much as a fucking desolate fucking world that this plant-based anomaly fucking took over the world, killing people, causing people to have infections and dying from said infections. Um, they do have a way to cure it, but if you get too far, it reminded me of fucking Last of Us, how the mold, whatever. This is literally almost the same verbatim thing. They're trying to eliminate the cause of said corruption, and you don't know about that because apparently these dragon stones that you get introduced to later on are gateways to each world and you use. So if you rest at one of these dragon stones, like typical fucking Souls fashion, all the enemies reset. Fucking when I hit, especially when you're fighting right in the beginning and you have like no guns to do jack and shit. Yeah. Talk about die, or you like sparingly fucking reset the world. Sparingly.
Womp womp womp.
So, but you don't need the dragon stones to level up. You don't need the dragon stones the dragon stones are there for traveling, refreshing your ammo and your hearts. That's literally the dragon stones are for. I mean, killing shit drops ammo, so I mean, it is what it is there. Um, uh, the other armor classes you have to find in the world. You have, say, the engineer. that gas I was talking about on the moon area, you literally have to jump into that. You'll die, but you collect the stuff so you don't drop it when you die. So you literally have to jump in the gas, grab it, grab the weapon and the armor there, and then die. They literally data mined this game to find all of the armors, the guns, the rings, everything. That's how, and Remnant 2 wanted it that way. They wanted them to data mine it so they could find everything, which was kind of weird to me because a lot of these game companies, they don't want that. They don't want that at all.
Especially
they're like,
soldiers.
yeah, that's frowned upon. But yeah, there's literally an area that you have to have a certain amount of armor, certain armor, certain weapons, certain rings, certain amulet, and certain heart before you can go into this area because it's a corrupt area. You remember watching Matrix 2?
Yes.
You remember the doors? It's kind of like that. You're going to go into a world like that, but you have a time frame of how long you can be in there, and there's certain items that you have to grab from there. It was definitely worth the play. It was not worth the $60 that I paid for it because playing by yourself, shout out, is boring. It's really boring. But playing with other people like me, Dan, and we found some random dude that we ended up playing with a lot. Actually made it entertaining because you could actually kill each other, which is entertaining as fuck too. But each boss that you fight and in each area, and there's one main boss and like 6 sub bosses, and then there's like 4 mini bosses in each area. And they're all hard. Shout out. Everyone, dude, it's literally a fight every time. And of course, they wouldn't be a boss without sending out in minions and minions upon minions, wasting your ammo. Of course. Yeah. It's one of those lovely games. The replayability is there if you have friends. They have an adventure mode, which I think is really dumb because you could literally pick the world you want to go to and do what you need to, and then reset the world and do it again. And it won't be the same. It won't be the same layout. It won't be the same doors. It won't be the same anything. So you could get a lot of armors, rings, and all that in one setting. But it's very time consuming and tedious, in my opinion.
Sounds like it.
I would give this game probably an 8. It was fun. It was entertaining the first time. Shout out. The last boss was probably the most annoying out of everything that I played, all the other bosses, just because he transported you between worlds frequently. And it was like an open world to a little bitty living space, and then back to an open world. So you never knew what the fuck you and where the fuck you were, and doing damage was not happening. So I literally probably fought that boss for 2 hours.
God damn.
And it wasn't like, consecutive 2 hours. It was literally like we die, redo it, die, redo it. But yeah, I mean, it was fun, but they need to change some things and, make it a little more entertaining for solo players.
Shut out.
Right. Definitely.
So I've played a Wolong Fallen Dynasty. I mentioned it last week on the podcast, and Chris had said he was very interested in that game. And Chris, if you're listening, I told you to wait until I talked about it this week before you decided to spend your money. This game came out March 3rd, of this year. Team Ninja is the ones behind it. They're the ones that came out with Neo 2 a couple years ago. If y'all are familiar, I was huge into Neo 2. I played probably about half the year was me playing Neo 2. Mainly because it was so goddamn hard that I couldn't fucking finish it ever. But yeah, love Neo 2 regardless. Like, great fucking game. So, decided to jump into Wolong Fallen Dynasty. It was marketed as Neo meets Sekiro, which I'm telling you right now, if I could ever finish Sekiro, that would be a top 10 game of all time. Might be top 5 all time. Fucking love that game. But I just can't finish it. Can't beat it. Can't get past the hard part, you know? Shout out.
I was about to get
it. And that's that. It's just too difficult of a game for me. One day I'll go back to Sekiro and replay it. So I think I still have the save file on my Xbox. So I was definitely interested in this, and a lot of people have been saying that it was more accessible than Sekiro was, and it was a little bit easier. So I was like, well, fuck, hell yeah, I'm gonna jump into this shit, right? Then my interest in it kind of waned as we got closer to it, and then, like I said earlier, I kind of just fucking forgot that I pre-ordered it. I pre-ordered the Steelbook, and lo and behold, it showed up on my doorstep, and I was like, oh fuck, I kind of regret that.
Oh.
So I finished Final Fantasy 16, and I needed a game to jump into to talk about on the podcast for the following week, right? So I decided to jump into Wolong Fallen Dynasty. And it is very much Neo meets Sekiro. It is set during the Three Kingdoms era in China during the final days of the Han Dynasty. So jumping into this game, on paper, it looks like it could be a shit ton of fun. Okay, on paper, because there's a morale system, there's different abilities that you can use. They do give you, on top of the morale system, it does make the game a little bit easier if you go about it that way. But it's just, you have to nail your parries and your deflections and your blocks. If you don't, you fucking get shredded. And I played probably about an hour and a half of it, and after dying to the boss for 20 times, I was fucking done with it, and I won't play it again. It's just, I didn't have enough time to really put forth the effort to really learn everything about it and really get familiar with it. But it does seem like a lot of fun. So if you love Sekiro, if you love Neo, and you love more difficult games, then 100% this is a game that you should go check out.
I don't love either one of those.
Yeah, it's just, look, guys, I've gotten to the point where I'm not going to fuck around with a game longer than I have to. Okay, like Final Fantasy 16 was done. I still have to go back to Diablo 4. I got BioShock on the burner going. So it was like, I'm not really enjoying this. I'm not going to put forth more time than I have to into Fallen Dynasty. So, aspects of the game, and we'll see if you like it. If not, whatever. Every level you get like a companion figure. It's basically like a historical figure from Chinese history, and you get a different one for every level. Some of them come back and they help you throughout the level and at the bosses. So that's nice. You get a little pal to go along with you, and get you fucking killed, whichever. Die alongside him. All those kind of fucking shenanigans. He doesn't really do much, but he's there. He's pretty to look at, I guess.
Shout out.
So every level you get something like him. You get a companion dude to go with you. In this game, there are multiple different ways to go about combat. One of those is, we'll talk about the abilities that you have, and that is the special martial art abilities, which are basically just weapon abilities. So when you equip a weapon, some of them have these special martial art abilities. Then you have spirit attacks, which spirit is kind of like something that you build up throughout the level. And you build that up by carefully timing deflections and avoiding damage. You get spirit taken away from you and shit like that. So you build that up. You have spirit attacks, and then you can cast spells, like fire attacks and normal fucking Dark Souls shit. Okay. Where the game is fucking interesting is the morale system. And it was something that I was like very, very intrigued by. So this is a separate progression system. So you level up like a normal Souls game, level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way to 100, past 100, right? And you can put it into your stats and shit like that. So that's not any different. The morale system, on the other hand, is level by level. So it resets every level, but you keep it per level, okay? Depending on there's like a benchmark flag that you can get that. So we'll say you can go all the way up to level 25 in your morale system per level. If you're level 25 morale system and you're going up against a morale system rank of like 5, you are absolutely going to slaughter that dude. So that's another little benefit to going through the level multiple times to build up that morale system. And then also, if your boss is level 20 and you're 25, you have an advantage in that fight. Then we get into the issues with it, or not even the issues. It's where the Dark Souls-esque aspect of it comes into play, and that is you have these benchmark flags. You're building up your rank throughout the entire level, and you'll find other flags that, okay, when I die, I don't go below this certain rank, which is nice. It's nice not to lose all your progress. But you do drop ranks whenever you die, and you also drop rank when an enemy hits you with a special attack or the little red attacks, a special attack, unblockable attacks, whatever the fuck you call it in the game. If he hits you with that, you lose some of your morale. So that's a bummer. So when you're fighting the bosses and you're not fucking deflecting right, you're losing your advantage fairly quickly. And yes, that's kind of like a built-in difficulty system to kind of make the game a little bit easier. But I don't know, man. The game didn't connect with me in the hour and a half that I played with it. Shout out. And it didn't seem like something that I wanted to put a whole bunch of time into. That was really the biggest issue. So if you're into, like I said, if you're into Neo, into Sekiro, this is definitely a series that you should probably go check out. It's just, like I said, I don't have time to sit here and play fucking 50 hours of a game, and only a 20-hour game I shouldn't be playing for 50 fucking 60 hours, So that's kind of the boat that I'm in. So yeah, personally, as a Souls fan, I would go play other games. But y'all take what I said and do with that information what you will.
Right. It's understandable.
Moving on to our last segment before we close out this episode, and that is Sony announced that they are upping the prices for the PlayStation Plus subscriptions. And guys, I don't mean by a little bit, I mean by a fucking lot. So this is just the 12-month subscriptions that we're talking about right now, okay?
Yeah.
PlayStation Plus. Right now it's $60. It is going to $80. So $20 increase for the year. Huh. You think that's bad? It gets worse. Oh, PlayStation Plus Extra, which is like the Game Pass version of PlayStation. PlayStation Plus Extra is $100 right now for the entire year. $34 increase over the year. PlayStation Plus Premium, I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't know what the fuck is different about that and PlayStation Plus Extra. It's probably extra games, I'm assuming, and some discounts and shit. But it is $119 for the year. It is going to $160 for the year.
Holy shit.
Yeah. That is fucking insane to me that they're that expensive. So I know recently that Microsoft got away with their $1 trial for the Ultimate Pass, and they're going to eventually go up on their prices as well. But what do you think about this price increase, sir? My thing is, I don't mind an increase. I don't think the increase is the issue. I think the issue is how significant of an increase it is.
I think it's kind of bullshit, to be honest with you. Like, I went from, what was it, $15, what it was when we first started PlayStation Plus, if that. Um, and I was cool with that because it came with quite a few things. Two things, but there was the only way you could play online. So I mean, you either had to bite that fucking $15 bullet, or you didn't play online. So it was one of those things. To go up between $60 to $30 on certain things that just so you could play online, I think it's a load of crap, because now they're adding AI to a lot of these games that can kick you off forever. So Call of Duty, I'll give an example. Call of Duty just put an AI system in their chat. So they will deem your conversations, whether they ban you for a day, a week, or permanently. So you're going to tell me I'm going to pay more money with a potential permanent ban is available? Yeah, no. Yeah, no. That's a hard pass for me. You can kiss my ass.
My thing is, if it was like a $5 increase,
Oh, by all means, yeah. But
or if you're going monthly, if it was like a $2 or $3 increase, I guess that's, when you think about it, that's like a $20 increase for the year.
right.
So the PlayStation Plus one going from 60 to 80, it's not terrible. But when we jump into $34 increase, and then we're going into a $41 increase for the Plus Premium, I mean, come on, guys. Like, is that really necessary? Like, am I getting
How
so
much
much
for
better
each round?
games? Yeah, right? Are the games that much better that you're going to be getting? Because that's what they said. They said this is the way that we can keep up with the quality of games that we have, and to provide better content for you in the future. Yeah, Netflix said the same fucking thing, and we get shit from them other than Stranger Things. So just saying.
That's fair. I can't argue that.
So my thing is, if you're gonna go up by a small amount, that's fine. Like, I've been paying $10 for PlayStation Plus for years. I just recently upped it because my subscription just renewed like yesterday, and I upgraded to Plus Extra, and that's where you get some of the Game Pass games. And I downloaded a bunch of games to my fucking PlayStation. Final Fantasy X, which, by the way, I will be doing a Let's Play series with that eventually. Not right now, but eventually, Let's Play series, and super fucking excited to do that. But a whole bunch of games that I can fucking try out now. Sea of Stars, which just fucking came out, getting great reviews. Hopefully, I can talk about that next week on the podcast. That is on PlayStation Plus Extra, and that to me is worth it because that game is like $35 or something like that. So I don't mind spending $4 or $5 extra to play some of these different games that I haven't been able to play yet. But when we jump into $40 increases, I mean, that's just too much, guys. Too fucking much. Too fucking much. You're mute.
I understand inflation's happening and all that, but like that's asinine. Well, on an increase that much, like, it makes no sense to me. Like, why are you punishing us?
The
You're like,
games
we're
better be
like
fucking good.
literally loyal. Like, I mean, shit. They better be fucking good. They better be fucking have a story. They better be fucking well priced. They better be lower priced because they fucking getting $40 extra from me. You know what I'm saying? You better not be no $60 games no more, or $70 for PlayStation 5 now.
Yeah, I think that's here to stay, man. I don't think they're gonna go down in their prices.
Oh, they're never going to go down on their
$70?
prices.
No, no.
No.
I think any PlayStation exclusive game will be $70 from here on out. Xbox will join that if they ever make exclusives for their console ever again, other than Starfield. Uh, but yeah, man, it's just to me, this is a big old fucking middle finger to gamers.
Yeah.
You're not respecting the wallet of gamers. You're not respecting them whatsoever. And I don't, like I said, I don't mind going up a little bit. You know, Netflix has gone up a couple of dollars here or there over the years, and that's fine. You know, eventually we're gonna be paying way too fucking much for this shit, and we're gonna end up having to cancel it. But to me, it's just like you're not respecting the gamer. You're saying, hey, we're gonna increase this. Okay, well, they're either going to accept it or not, and we don't give a shit.
And you don't realize how some of these companies, I don't like to bring up, world things, but a lot of these companies don't realize the power of people. If we all stood together and said, fuck you, well, you're about to lose a lot of fucking money.
Right?
And the gaming community is a very wide, vast community. And if you're fucking with all of us, you're fucking all of us. Like, I can understand, oh, you're fucking sports games. You're going to fuck a little bit of majority, but you're fucking worldwide, across the board. You're fucking a lot of people. And if they all say no, what you going to do then? You're going to go back to your lower prices, or are you just going to say, fuck it, y'all don't need to be on here? But then you lose a lot of money.
I don't think they care. But I don't think when you think about it, Microsoft is so pro gaming,
right,
that it makes you just want to be like, why the fuck do I play PlayStation, man?
right.
Like, they are so anti-consumer, it's not even fucking funny.
Yeah.
What's his name? Not Todd Howard. The guy that heads Xbox. I don't fucking know. Whatever his name is. The dude's fucking great. Like, he's all like, man, we want to put all of our games on all the consoles. I'm okay with not having exclusives and shit like that. More people that can play our games, the better. I'm like, god damn, man. I wish fucking Sony had some guy like that. And then we got fucking Jim Ryan over here and his fucking 100-year-old ass. Oh, they'll pay more for it if they want. Not, they can go fuck themselves.
I mean, look how long it took Xbox and PlayStation to even merge to cross-platform. How many years did that take?
Fucking
forever. And how many teeth did that pull out? I mean, shit. So, I mean, what can you do?
But yeah, guys, let us know in the comment section below if you're on YouTube, or jump onto our Facebook and let us know what you think about the price increases from Sony for the PlayStation Plus subscriptions. If you're one of the Xbox fans and you're like, sucks to suck, drop us a comment, man. It doesn't bother me. Okay. But yeah, that is going to be, actually, weekly recommendation. See, we haven't done it in a couple of weeks. I don't fucking forgot how to do it.
You done how forgot.
What are you going to recommend to the fine people, sir?
So I'm going to recommend One Piece Odyssey. It was definitely one of those quick little games. Definitely a great little story behind it. I paid $20 for it on PlayStation. Because it was definitely on that 75% sale that's going on right now on the store. Basically picks up from one of the adventures that they're on from the anime, and pretty much not like a shitty anime game. Like, the story's there. You start off from the bottom. You don't start off at level fucking 50 and knowing everything. You have to do some things. The villains are good. The fights are all turn-based, but they're fun turn-based, I guess you could say, because you have your certain areas you can be in, because there's like 4 areas you can be in, and then you can back each other up from set areas, or finish killing your enemy and then go to somebody else's area to back them up. And it's pretty interesting. The only downside to it is it's full subtitled Japanese. No, you can't pick your English or anything like that. You can just read subtitles the whole time, and that was the downside to it. But I'm cool with subtitles. It doesn't bother me none. So
yeah, I can't even play a game not fucking read.
But they do have all the original characters in Japanese, their voices doing the game, so which is pretty cool.
I'm gonna recommend Holding Absence and their brand new album that came out last week before, something like that. The Noble Art of Self-Destruction. This is the last album as a part of a trilogy. This album in particular is about, well, it's a fucking sad boy album for sure, but it's about seeing yourself as a work of art and constantly working at yourself to make yourself a masterpiece. That's kind of the underlying themes for the album. And dude, it's really fucking catchy. Y'all go check out Crooked Melody. Actually, I reacted to that song on our YouTube channel. You can go check it out there if you so desire. But yeah, really fucking good album, and I'm eventually going to review it for the Wall of Death podcast. I'm excited about my top 10 this year, man. Like there are some fucking great music out there that has released so far this year. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough to come up with my top 10, and a lot of it is bands that I don't typically listen to, which is even better. But guys, that is going to be it from us. Like I said, drop a comment below what you think about PlayStation Plus or Wolong Fallen Dynasty if you've played it, or Remnant 2 if you agree with Christian about the solo aspects of it. Links down below for all of our social media, which is where you can go look at all the giveaways and shit like that we're going to start September 1st. And that's going to be it from us, guys. And we will catch y'all next week on another episode. Laters.